Friends, forget everything you know about cars. Now we're going to tell you about a car that looked like it wasn't designed in the 40s, but somewhere in a parallel universe where engineers are artists and they just send physics to a coffee break. Meet the Norman Timbs Special 1948. One of a kind. The only one. Like grandma's pie. Impossible to repeat. And please, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to Technomaniacs, because here we talk about cars that will make your Prius start quietly crying into its airbag. So, Norman Timbs is an engineer who didn't just build a car. He literally sculpted it, like Michelangelo sculpted David. His hands are his 3D printer. Metal is his canvas. And voila! We have an aluminum spaceship on wheels. No doors, no roof. Safety? Well, let's just say people were braver back then. Or just knew less about collision physics. The heart of this beauty is a Buick Straight-8, 5.2 liters, about 120 horses. It doesn't seem to have much power, but with a weight of about 1,000 kilograms and aerodynamics like a soap bubble, it accelerated to 190 kilometers per hour. In 1948, back then, television was still a novelty, and here's a racing car of the future with a rear engine. Yes, the engine is behind the driver. This is not a Jiguli. With a 100-degree trunk, gearbox, 3-speed manual, rear-wheel drive, tubular frame like real racing monsters, independent front suspension, rear with transverse springs, and all this on a 3-meter wheelbase and a length of 5.3. This thing didn't park. It took up a neighborhood. Norman Timbs built it himself in 2 years with his own money. No sponsors, no TikTok donations, no crowdfunding. Just a guy, a garage, and a big dream. True, then the car disappeared. Just like the Batmobile after retirement. It was found only in the early 2000s, covered in rust and cobwebs, like old homemade wine. They restored it, returned it to shape, it began to appear at exhibitions again, and everyone gasped, like, what was that? But 2018, California fires, and that's it. The fire, alas, turned out to be tasteless. It destroyed one of the most beautiful cars of all time. However, the Norman Timbs Special will always remain an icon. A car that didn't fit into any standards, regulations, or parking spaces. Because it's not just a car, it's a work of art on wheels, and the best reminder that sometimes one person with a dream and a 17 key can create something great. So, my friend, subscribe to Technomaniacs. We continue to dig up legends from the past and drive boredom up to 100 in 5 seconds.